Sparking Change with Gigi, a show that aims to make the world a better place by bringing together authentic minds. This show encourages each of us to be the change we wish to see in the world. Get ready to be inspired and join us on this journey to create a brighter future for all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sparking Change with Gigi. I'm your host, Giovanna Tardarone, and today we're going to have a spectacular show because we're going to be talking to a person who, in 2024, she came into my life and she absolutely showed me what I can be like when I get into my golden age. So the name of the show is Unstoppable because that's exactly what she came out of her mouth when I met her. She's like, I am unstoppable. So Carol, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here today. You truly touched my heart because you're so inspirational. You have such a positive mental attitude at your age. What is your secret? Can you please share with us a little bit about yourself?
I'm really glad to be here with you. I really enjoy the way you come across with your passion. You have a passion for this TV program to help millions of people who struggle with stresses daily. And you're offering an opportunity for people to have another outlook and the opportunity to transform themselves. So the way I started is my mother always used to say, leopards can never change their spots. And so I'd be stuck in my past if I accepted that and lived by that frame. So instead, I'm a Holocaust survivor, and I suffered something furiously, tremendously from that experience with the Nazis for years. And it pursued me for years and years and years, the anxiety, the trauma, the fear of people. I couldn't speak to people. I didn't speak till I was 22 years old. I was so afraid of people. And so at that time, with the Nazis, I became very suicidal as well from the time that we were in Brazil till maybe just last year. I struggled with suicidal ideation, not necessarily carrying it out, but it was always present. When things got rough and I was in a lot of internal pain, feeling so hurt or incapable of talking, I would go and escape and say, there's no exit. I can't find a way out, so I may as well do away with myself. Maybe that would be a better option. And I frequently said that would be a better option. On the other hand, I always was determined to beat it. I don't like that statement. I don't like that position. I don't like that attitude. And so the years went on. And in addition to that, I struggled with the orthodoxy in which I was raised, where I had to follow all kinds of rituals. Those rituals I thought were ridiculous, and I couldn't abide by them, and they didn't make sense to me, and nobody helped me make sense out of those rituals, which would have been wonderful. So there again, I was stuck. And how many people, I think, are frequently feeling stuck and not able to move forward? And that's a common feeling when people are stressed out. They're stuck and they don't know how to move forward. And then you're told, well, just move forward. Well, I don't know what that means, just move forward. That's a hard thing to do. And so what prompted me, I also was considering writing a book with my story as a legacy to my children and my family and my grandchildren. And the reason I wanted to write a book is that, unfortunately, in the last year since Hamas and October 7th, there was a lot of trauma that existed in this world that I felt really bad, because it was like a reliving of the Holocaust in 2024, which is really very, very painful to me, because I understand the suffering that both Palestinians and Israelis were going through. Because war always creates trauma. War always creates fear and shame and rage. that's hard to stop automatically. And people say, well, just move on. Well, I couldn't just move on. And so
That's right.
I really spent most of my life training in psychotherapy with the geniuses of the world, Fritz Perls and Irving Polster and Robert Goulding and Dr. Abel and Maslow and Doug O'Brien recently for years working with NLP and hypnosis.
Mhm.
And all these brilliant professors and trainers and leaders enabled me to overcome endless fears, endless shame, endless despair, endless voices that I would hear in my self. You know, we hear voices that say,
Yes.
you're not good enough. And patients that I work with would have all kinds of limiting beliefs,
Yes.
suffering from traumas of sexual abuse, of alcoholism, of cancer, of diabetes, of
Yeah, and it takes me back to when I studied the emotion code. And the emotion code, anybody can look it up. Dr. Bradley is the inventor of the emotion code. And basically, he explains how when we do have these emotions of fear, angry, guilt, shame, those are all very, first of all, they're low vibrational emotions, which will
and
bring
they're
us
toxic,
down.
and they're
And
toxic.
they're very, exactly. And so if they're toxic, what happens to your body is that these emotions are like a little tiny golf ball stuck in your organs. And if you don't release the pain, the traumas that you've encountered, to face it and release, look at the past and just release the pain from the past, it will manifest into illnesses, like you just said. There's studies that prove that. So it's so important for us to really take an assessment. And I think that's what you essentially did, Carol, is you took an assessment of everything that was going on in your life and you were looking to change. It wasn't about the age, it was about, I need to heal.
For sure. And it was very
Right?
important for me to
Mm.
transform myself. And when the eras became available for transformation with body work and massage and havening and bioenergetics and neurolinguistic programming,
How did that help you?
and let's see what else, hypnosis, the
Hmm.
endless techniques that I have learned in order to evolve and transform myself to a place that I could function and feel normal.
Did it change your thinking? Did it change your thinking about even the past, or you just in the way you think today by going through that process of transformation?
What needs to change is letting go of that past so
Hmm.
I can move forward, or so anyone who
Hmm.
decides to want to change. One has to be willing to change and want to change in order to do the work. It is not
Yes.
an automatic process. It takes commitment and a
Hmm.
desire to be different.
Absolutely.
And
So
visualizing oneself in a new way so that
beautiful.
that person who decides to do the work on themselves, when they visualize themselves through their dreams and their imagination and their vision, they can really change if they
I'm
stay committed. The most important thing that I find is
mhm.
the question that I say, how willing are you to change? If you're not that willing and it's too much work and I can't and I don't want to, don't call me up.
It's true. It is a lot of inner work. It's absolutely making a commitment to yourself. I studied the Napoleon Hill principles of success, and it's all about that. It's having that desire. right? It's really wanting to change. It's understanding that it's being committed to yourself, and being disciplined. How disciplined have you become when you've made all these changes in your life, Carol?
Very committed.
Would
Disciplined, I'm not that disciplined a person. I'm more committed. So that if I say a truth of mine, I want to fulfill it. So that
that,
I'm very motivated, and
but it
I'm very
requires
motivated to
discipline.
change. And I
Yes,
think that has catapulted me in ways of wanting to be different. And I know that with the traumas in Israel from Israelis and Palestinians both, and all the children, those have severe side effects that are stored in their amygdala. And the amygdala activates cells that cause disease, because unless you release the terrors that are stored in the amygdala through different forms of treatment, and havening is another form which enables a person to create new behaviors, new thoughts, and new body responses.
absolutely.
Because the amygdala has to be transformed into delta waves.
I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Bruce Lipton.
No.
Have you heard of him? No, he's an epigenetic doctor who states that it's, the epi part of the gene is really what determines our life, not the gene itself. It's the above the gene, which is exposed to different environments. So again, being in an environment where it's dangerous, or an environment where you're being hurt all the time, that will reflect on your body composition. So, and he also mentions about changing what's stored in the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is what truly runs our life. 90% of what we do, and this is scientifically proven, is on autopilot. We're on autopilot. So, how do we go from doing things that don't really help us, like self-sabotaging ourselves, right? It's on autopilot sometimes, to changing the language, say, no, I am able to, because who was it? Henry Ford said, if you think I can, if you think I can't, you're right. It's whatever you think. So
Or
what are you
believe,
think?
or believe.
Oh, and believe, correct. Because what's a belief? Something that you think over and over and over and over again, that becomes a belief. And, we also inherit some of our beliefs from our parents and society and TV and the outside world. So it's so important. Like, you had to change yourself at the subconscious level in order to see change in your life. Am I correct, Carol?
Oh, yes. And also, I had to change a lot at a cellular level. I did a lot of bioenergetics and myofascial release in order to get rid of the memories that were stored in my cells. And arthritis is one of the residuals of storing a lot of unresolved feelings of disappointment, hurt, rage,
Yes.
feeling misunderstood, feeling not appreciated, knowing that I wasn't given permission to move forward, to be powerful,
Right.
to be a
And
leader. And suddenly, unconsciously, there was a part of me that wanted to strengthen other people so that they don't have to struggle the way I struggled.
so beautiful, so beautiful. And it's truly about changing your mindset too, right? I mean, you had to really be more powerful than the subconscious mind and create new
Correct.
beliefs for yourself. So tell us more about how you went down this path of, you know, that's it. I'm going to make change no matter what. I'm going to see what I can do to help myself. What was that turning point for you?
Well, I was plagued by suicidal ideation most of my life, but I didn't agree with it. I didn't really like it, and there was something wrong with it, but it was always present. And then I thought, well, there's a devil who wants me to get rid of me. And that devil was pretty strong until I worked on that devil to melt him away, and he disappeared at some point in one of my therapeutic travels. So with that thought, I had a car accident, which I survived, but the intention of that car accident was to leave the earth because it was too unmanageable. And I could not navigate it anymore. Between the Nazis and the Orthodoxy, there was no room for me to be a person. So I thought it's time to leave. However, I survived, and I came back from seeing the angels and being mad at God, and I came back to earth. And I realized that I have a mission to accomplish, that there are so many people who are in pain, and that's my duty, is to be present for them because I really understand the process at a very, very deep, deep level.
And now you know
So
why
I can work with anybody,
Mm.
with any issue, because I am able, as Steve Andreas says, pursue the self at the core level of autonomy, which is a very incredible process. And I think that in our mastermind group, our goal is to reach that core in a way that makes us feel so powerful.
Yes.
And it's very
Definitely.
exciting.
Yes, you definitely put together a powerful group. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about that group. Okay? We'll be right back, everyone.
Now, the vast majority, approximately 95% of the people of all countries, go around and around without aim or purpose. They drift with the circumstances of life, good or bad.
A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind.
Whereas the successful individuals create their own circumstances and ride them to victory.
When you're on purpose, you're living on purpose. You will never quit if you have a real purpose.
A burning desire to be and to do is the starting point from which the dreamer must take off. But what I have done has been recorded, it's been tested, it's being taken to a free world, and it's going to benefit millions of people who are not yet born.
And it's going to benefit millions of people who are not yet born. We're some of those people. That we're spreading this to the world. As your awareness grows, the doubt is gone, so that you can manifest whatever it is your heart desires. Isn't that beautiful?
Welcome back, everyone.
Beautiful.
So, Carol, let's talk about this beautiful group you created and what's going on in the group.
Well, the group was created in order to thrive, because the year of 2025 is to thrive and to evolve more. But evolving takes a group together that support each other and give each other the idea of power and permission. Lila D. Bellinger, many years ago, during the era of Fritz Perls, used to talk about how so many people lacked permission to grow, and groups were forming, and she was teaching us how to allow ourselves to do ridiculous things and have permission to crawl on the floor. And nobody wanted to crawl on the floor because they wouldn't look good. Until
Right.
we process that out, the resistance to crawling on the floor, in the end, we all gave ourselves permission to do that. And the idea of giving oneself permission to evolve is incredibly powerful. And the mastermind group is focused on giving ourselves permission to make plans, to evolve, to align ourselves so that we could stay present in the now. And in the now, when we feel a sense of trust between us and a sense of safety, then we are able to tackle any resistances that come up to moving forward. And then there is the safety of the group that says, well, let's look at what the stoppers are. It's important to always look at resistances and stoppers so that we let go of them in order to give permission to move forward. And suddenly, new beliefs just emerge automatically with the sense of feeling safe and trust and patience and gratitude, and then a sense of powerfulness. And someone said the other day, what I'm really learning in 2025 and I want to become better at is being resilient. That's a very important attribute that allows us in hypnosis or in meditation to feel capable, confident, calm, and curious, which allows us to become stronger, both physically, mentally, and in our bodies. And I have noticed the better I feel, the less arthritis I have, and the less pain I have. In 2017, I was in bed for months with the pain was outrageous, and I didn't want to be here anymore because I couldn't take the pain. And I thought, well, when you have so much pain, you may as well go because there's no point in sticking around. But there's the other side of me that always says, I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to look at resources and I'm going to see if I could get rid of this uncomfortable arthritis. And so I reached out to a great pain management group, and I am pain-free most of the time. Do I still have regression? Yes. Do we all have resistance? Yes. We all have, we're all trapped in the prison of the past, of fear, of shame, of guilt, of not being good enough, of not being perfect enough, of not having accomplished enough, of not being smart enough. All these voices that are called monkey mind. The monkey mind is out to get us. The monkey mind stops us. The monkey mind is saying, don't, you can't, you don't know how. I'm going to make you sick.
The monkey mind doesn't.
And the word, I can't. I'm too tired. I can't do this. I can't do that. Those limiting beliefs trapped in suffering begin to transform as we examine the resistance and let go. And that frees us to transform to anywhere we decide or dream about or have a vision that's a positive vision. Beautiful. Is it easy? No, because one has to be willing to examine feelings and beliefs and attitudes And what else?
Absolutely. No, you've said it perfectly, because if we don't examine those things, I can confidently say with confidence that our dreams of having a good life is being taken away from us. So it's either you address those fears so that you can live your best life, or you let those fears take over and it steal your life away. Right? And it's
Steal
a
is very
choice.
good. Steal is a very good word, because very often one feels as if we've been cheated, because we know that other people have good lives. And
But that's a victim mentality. When you say I've been cheated, oh, that person has more than me, or no, what did that person do that has more than you? Why is that person more happier than you? We are given the same resources. We're made of the same stuff. What makes us different is truly the way we think, the way we process information, and the choices that we make. There's a positive and negative side to every situation. There's not one without the other. There's light and dark, tall and short. So if there's the emotions of feeling anger, there's the opposite side of it. It exists. It's up to you to say, am I going to make this get me angry, or am I going to just let it go? It's minute, compared to life. And I can tell you that, I used to get very mad when I was driving and somebody used to cut me off. Now it's like, see you later, bye-bye. Next thing you know, they get to the red light. I'm like, where are you going? So I don't get angry anymore. I don't react anymore. I respond.
You don't see what?
I don't react. Right? Because when you react, you don't give yourself time to really think and process the information. And if you take that minute to say, should I react? Is this something big? You're actually keeping your own body safe without experiencing all those emotions that will bring on the anger, right? Because Dr. Wayne Dyer, another mentor of mine, used to say, it's not the snake bite that kills you. It's the venom that you hold inside.
Wow, that is a beautiful statement. And that really says it like it is. It's all the venom in subtle ways that you collected 24 hours a day, because every day is constituted of every minute of 24 hours. That's a lot of pain. That's a lot of trauma. And people don't realize that. The person who came in, client came in with fibromyalgia, and said, and when I heard the stories about the abuse that this person had, no wonder she's exhausted. No wonder he's exhausted with fibromyalgia, or what's the other one?
Bipolar?
The one that affects the body, makes them very tired. Well, if you collect all those experiences that were negative, and they constitute a huge building, or 4 buildings, or 8 buildings, no wonder you're tired. You deserve to be tired. You deserve to have the illnesses that you get because of the unconscious bad feelings that are stored in the amygdala.
Yeah. And this is, I tell you, I went to school for a long time, and so did you. And until I went to really study myself and emotions and all this information, as you know, I'm a cancer survivor. Like, it took me down this path of really trying to figure out why. Why did this happen?
Or what happened and how.
Correct. And once you understand and you can acknowledge it and understand that how it happened, now you can let it go. Because I know I am not that cancer. I'm not that disease. I'm not that shame. I'm not that uh,
Guilt.
anger, guilt. I'm not that. I'm something more than that. And if we consume ourselves with the past, because the truth of the matter is, anytime we're not feeling well, we are living either in the past, or in the future of the unknown. We're not
So
living
wait
in
a
the
minute.
present.
On the heels of that, when you're saying that, you're living either in the past. When you're feeling in the past, you get depressed, and that accentuates or adds to the illness. And if you are fearing the future or fearing your death, then what you have is huge anxiety.
Yes.
Jumping into the future causes anxiety. Jumping into the past and your past history causes depression.
So that is why there is a very powerful book called The Power of Now that
By Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle. I don't know how many billions of copies are out there, how many different languages that are out there. This book is out there. It's really helping us understand that the present moment is all we have. All we have.
And that present moment can lead to resources and solutions.
Yes.
With
Because if you're,
patience,
of
trust, and
course,
feeling safe.
of course, and loving yourself, because that is the number one thing that I will say that will, keep us stuck. Because if we don't love ourselves, number one is how can we love others? So if you're in a relationship or you're looking for a relationship, how can you find someone to love you if you don't love yourself? So
That's
that's
very
very
beautiful. How about
right.
taking a moment and taking, if
Mhm.
you're a righty, take your left hand and put it on your heart. And if you're a lefty, take your right hand and put it on your heart. And let's see how much each one of you who's watching this can access the idea of I can love myself and I deserve to be loved. Close your eyes.
Let's do it, everyone.
Go inside. Feel the location of your heart. And with your hand on your heart, allow yourself to say, I love me. I'm cute. I'm sweet. I'm reliable. Call out a word that you are getting in touch with about who you are. And Gigi, what comes to mind?
I am strong.
Mm.
I'm strong.
Anybody else?
Let's see if anybody's answering.
Huh?
I want to see if anybody's writing anything in the chat. Not yet, but they'll watch this and they'll do this exercise, I'm sure. This is
Do
beautiful.
this
Very
exercise
beautiful.
anytime that you are have a moment for yourself.
Yes, there's another thing that you must fill up your cup first before you can fill up somebody else's cup, right?
Absolutely. That is very true.
So I will tell you, you have definitely demonstrated some of the principles of the Napoleon Hill's books, which one of them is positive mental attitude. Your smile from year to year, we were spending some time this weekend together, last weekend, and we celebrated your 89th birthday. Wow, happy birthday to you. And really, your positive mental attitude is very, very inspiring. How can you?
So thriving in 25
Mhm.
is a goal, and every day I would like everyone to start their day if they want to. And you start the day, I start every single day with 100 kicks so that I'm able to let go of anything that doesn't agree with me. Usually it's my stiff body, because at 89, if you don't exercise a tremendous amount and you forget to drink 8 glasses of water, you wake up being stiff. So the 100 kicks strengthens the heart. It's as if it's cardio work, and it enables you to have circulation and blood in your brain, and makes your day begin. And then you take 3 deep breaths in the morning. This is a pattern that helps you start the day. So now you have 100 kicks, 3 deep breaths, and you say to yourself, who I am is, so that you could get yourself in alignment with your own intention for the day. Who I am is powerful, capable, confident, calm, that I'm going to be effective in accomplishing whatever I want to accomplish. I always have a half a dozen things that I need to accomplish every day, at least. They include exercise, they include seeing people, they include taking my supplements, they include meditation in the morning, havening. Havening is a form of creating delta wave and unleashing anything that it might have been stressful. So by starting this day with a sense of power, everything is possible. Everything
Absolutely.
is possible, and everything has a solution.
Beautiful tips. Beautiful tips. You have to make yourself a priority in the morning for you first. You know, my life used to be get up, get the kids ready, get myself ready, and get out the door.
And prepare breakfast.
If I got lucky. I mean, it was, put the waffles in the toaster and and go. But sometimes I didn't even eat breakfast. I made sure the kids ate breakfast, or they were going to daycare where there was breakfast being given to them. So I just got them out of bed and we're going. And I never took the time for myself. And now that my life has changed, I come first. I mean, my kids are grown, but I take time. I do the same thing you do. I have a list. I write my goal statement every morning. I write my gratitude list every morning. I exercise, I meditate. I do that every morning. And you know what? I can truly feel powerful going out and tackle the problems, if there are any, with the peace of mind, with feeling like, yes, I can find somebody to help me. There's no longer I can't in my vocabulary, because you've made yourself strong first thing in the morning. That's a beautiful way to start the morning. Nice tip. So
And
how do you
on the heels of that, wait a minute, on the heels of that, as you say, I can, the adult ego state says, I will. And that solidifies the intention of the day. I will accomplish this, that, and the other, and give a checklist.
Beautiful.
Or even I won't do this because I plan to do it tomorrow. However, the I will is very powerful in its commitment.
Beautiful. So that's kind of like your habits that you built into like the new you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what would you say to someone in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who are feeling stuck, unsure about making the change or making change, period?
When At what point in your life did you learn to ride a bicycle or a tricycle or go skating or anything? When in your childhood did you learn something? And almost everybody that I have asked that question to, they learned to ride a bicycle. And there was fear to start with the bike, but once they got rolling, you never forget to ride a bicycle. So that's the attitude. You learn to ride a bicycle, you could learn anything you want right now.
Absolutely. In an age where information is available at our fingertips, right?
Yes.
So someone would say, as we know, they're probably in their comfort zone. And the comfort zone is where you do not get to experience the best that life has to offer, because you're placing yourself, in order for you to excel and grow, you must get out of your comfort zone. Is that true?
Without a doubt.
So
And
what
it's
did you
called that with that comfort zone, there has to be a willingness to accept where you are right now, in the now, in order to be able to step forward. One step at a time, giving yourself permission, one step at a time, without having any voices saying, you didn't do it fast enough, or you didn't do it this way, or you did some kind of judgment. It's the judgment that creates that desire of the comfort zone, which is really not comfortable. Comfort zones are not necessarily comfortable. They're a last resort when you decided, I don't want to take the next step, it's too hard. Or whatever the monkey mind in your head says that is a judgment or a stopper.
Absolutely. And it actually stops you from living your life in the, you know, to really end this understanding that comfort zone stops you from living and growing. So get out of your comfort zone.
And
right?
be unstoppable, and be unstoppable.
So let's talk about this word unstoppable at 89. What does that mean to you?
Well, because I had that history of always wanting, when the going got rough, I wanted to end my life. And I knew that's absurd all the time. There was another me that said that's absurd. The other side of I want to end my life is I want my life to go on forever and be unstoppable. That's how it arrived, that new thought, because it had to be a contradiction to the opposite. Does that make sense? And
you're embracing it. Yes, and you're embracing it to saying, the word, you know, what I see in you, and just from the couple of meetings we've had, it's like, I want to learn. Who's that? I need their number. Give me that information. I want to know more. That's unstoppable. It's like, you know, there's so much more that you can learn and explore now, because you've just have truly discovered the secret of life. You know, gone. That's right. You've done the inner work. You've done facing the past and saying, I'm going to let it go, because right now I can start enjoying my life.
Because every moment in the now is really exciting. Believe it or not. If a person is 100% in the now, it's exciting.
I felt the beautiful energy in the room with, you know, David and everybody that was there, just having cake for you. And we were watching a presentation.
And the beautiful fresh fruit.
And the beautiful fresh fruits and the fresh flowers.
And the beautiful flowers.
Right. But But let's talk about the connection of people, making connection. You know, even in your mastermind group, you know, we have the connection with people. How important is that, Carol, that you see now?
It's crucial because that is a way of getting reparented with a lot of positive intention and faith in the fact that everyone there is supporting each other. And there is no intention to control. And that is really a key to freedom, is not being effective in controlling another person's behavior. And that does not occur in the mastermind group, and it does not occur in the white room.
Yes. And so essentially what we're saying here is never be alone.
Never be alone.
Never be alone. Stay connected, because there are people that can support you in whatever you want to do. It's just you have to
support equals giving yourself permission. Just having the support is a way of giving yourself permission to move forward. And somehow we all need that permission to move forward.
Absolutely. So, looking back, what would you say to your younger self?
To my what?
Your younger self. Looking back, what would you say to your younger self about the importance of change?
About what?
The importance of change.
Always access the part of you that is courageous and can feel capable of finding a way out.
Do we all have that? Do we all have that?
I believe we all have that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
However, unfortunately, it gets stuck.
But people are out there that can help. There are people out there that can help you if you want it, when you get stuck. But you have to make the first decision, right? You have to say, I want it. Because if you don't say, I want it, it cannot happen.
That's correct.
Because it will be shown to you.
I want it and I will.
I want it and I will. And I am doing it no matter what.
Yes, that's a very good commitment.
I'm doing it no matter what because I am unstoppable. Is that the way it goes?
Yes, yes.
That's the way.
And just that word unstoppable ends up wanting to just move, move, move. And the secret to really healing is moving.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. What role does gratitude play in your life at this age, in your golden age?
I am more aware of gratitude than I ever was before. I don't think I was tuned into being grateful. I am now capable of tuning into being grateful, let's say, to my children. Whatever they do for me, I'm really grateful now. But they used to anger me with their behaviors sometimes, so I wasn't so grateful. But yes, they did a lot of things for me.
I'm glad. And, you know, even the smallest little thing, right? I mean, you must have said thank you 100 times Saturday when we saw you, because we had this nice little party. And so you can see the, you know, the
heart.
Shined. The heart, you shined. I was going to say you were shining with a beautiful smile. Just when we say we're grateful for something, it just makes us feel good inside. You know, like it's our own medicine. It's our own medicine. And
in a way, when you're saying it's your own medicine, you can at that moment connect to your heart. And then you, at that moment, you could put your hand on your heart and say, I love myself.
How many people look in the mirror and say, I love myself? Not many, huh?
I don't think I ever did.
Until now, we know how important that is, right?
Yes.
And it's a practice that, I had to get used to it because, again, how can I expect anyone to love me if I don't love myself? Or how can I give love if I don't have it to give? Because you can't give what you don't have, right? And that for me was like a big eye opener to understand that. Because I said, I always loved my children. But at a deep level, did I really love my children if I didn't love myself first? So, I would say that it is so important to make yourself a priority. Get the help you need. There is a beautiful soul hidden within each of us that is looking to explore and grow and express itself. And everything that we've gone through, that's bad in our lives, it's actually, if we're holding it in, we're holding the expression of ourselves to experience life to the fullest.
That's beautifully said, Giovanna. That really is.
And it's the truth. When you
giving yourself a voice to yourself as well as externally is very powerful.
There was, I'm going to try to remember this. There was 4 things someone has came across my path who, I think it was in the mentoring program. There's 4 things in life that are essential to, just enjoy life. And number 1 is to love yourself unconditionally. Number 2 is forgive everyone. Forgive everyone. Number 3 is don't judge. You have no idea what that other person's been through. And number 4 is do those 3 with intentions. And that is the fundamental 4, attributes of life that we should practice in order to really be our best self and enjoy this
very,
life.
Very beautiful, very touching.
Yeah. And, when you go down this path of personal development, literally, that's what it is. Personal development. We are learning about ourselves. And I went to school for 23 years, part-time, a night. And I've never learned about myself. I always learned about a topic, a subject, right? A career, but I never learned about myself. And now that I've learned about myself and I know who I am so very grateful to be given a second chance at life so that I can help others discover their true self as well. Because when you discover your true self, you have won the lottery, the biggest lottery, the secret of life, and where you can truly become so powerful and unstoppable at any age, 89 and beyond, right?
Absolutely.
So, I do want to say you've done a lot of work on yourself. I've done a lot of work on myself. And this is how we discover how powerful we are. And we can do anything.
And in that journey from victim to survivor to thrive is an exciting journey that I want to give to everybody in this universe.
So beautiful. What a nice way to end it. And if anyone wants to contact you, Carol, can they go to your website?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And I just want to say, I know a book of yours is coming out soon because you wrote a book. What inspired you to write the book?
To be honest, the renewal of a Holocaust in Israel with the Palestinians and the the Hamas event and the Israelis, and that really pained me tremendously. I just couldn't get over the amount of trauma that is experienced by those people, all of them.
And that helped you to relieve all your pain.
Yes, it actually did.
Beautiful. Yes, and it said through writing we do release our pain. So thank you everyone for joining us, Carol. It was an honor to have you on the show. And for anyone who would like to connect with Carol, please visit her website. And that is it for the show. I'm your host, Giovanna Torron. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you, Carol.
Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me on Sparking Change with Gigi. I hope that our episode today has ignited a spark within you to create positive change in your own life and in the world around you. To learn more about how you can become a guest or supporter, head over to sparkingchangenow.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing, sharing, and leaving a review. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to me, and it helps me to continue producing content that sparks change in each of us and the world. You can find us on various platforms, including Google Play Store, Apple App Store, YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Android TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to having you join me again next week on Sparking Change with Gigi.